won't you set it on? Baby, won't you set it on?
Alrighty.
All right. Everybody, what up? What up? It's your girl PJ Dakota. We here on the Say What show, and I have the pleasure of doing a quick interview with Jordan Robinson out of the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. What up, though, Jordan?
How's it going? It's going pretty good.
Yeah. It's going good. It's like it's nice and sunny there.
Oh yeah. It's always sunny.
Well, everybody, all my viewers, Jordan.
That's always.
Huh?
Oh no, it's saying let's get some shade.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, to all my viewers, Jordan participated. Oh, I gotta get you to stand in one spot.
Okay.
Yeah. Jordan participated in the lockdown challenge show that was put on by the ground control crew there in Pine Ridge, and he did an awesome job. So I'm gonna let Jordan introduce himself to everybody. Jordan, tell everybody who you are, what you do, what's up.
Well, my name is Jordan Robinson, and I'm a professional magician and currently in Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Originally from northern Minnesota, around like Cass Lake, Bemidji area, part like that. Started when I was, really young, about 7, 8 years old, and it just grew. It just grew and grew and grew. I found so many resources that were even outside of my comfort zone, and it just grew into this crazy magical monster. And it's still going on today. Creating as always, performing as always, as much as I can. So yeah.
Nice. So what type of resources that you have that's to your, to your fingertips that allow you to do what you do?
Well, technically I first started with books. I started getting, PDFs were the main thing. Like internet's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't much on going to libraries and having, big stacks of books and everything like that. So I thought PDFs are really cool. And so, I started seeing, different articles on different things that fascinated me, even like from card magic to, optical illusions, just different things that were meant for, the eye, but, you can enjoy them as well. It could be intimate moments,
Right.
And so, I just took a lot of, things that came before me and just applied them just with my own style and my own touch, and and that's what I try and do today, because there's a saying actually that I went by all the time where, people always say, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and so we take what comes before us and we just, mend it up or recreate it however we see it,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you dealing with the COVID? You doing all right with the COVID right now?
Doing all right. And honestly, I thought for a second I had to actually like kind of question. There came a time where I questioned, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do for, a career? Am I gonna still be able to be a magician, or am I still be able to do this? And of course, and that's one thing that I thought was really awesome, is that the industry is just growing and it adapts just like that. And it's so crazy and it's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Glad it hasn't totally, disturbed everything for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, continue to be safe out there.
Yeah.
So how did you get started doing the tricks? Did you start when you were a young age, or you got like recently, or what?
Yeah. I started when I was young, and when I took it on, when I started really getting hands-on with it was probably when I was about 10 years old. Found a few articles here in the book fair when I was younger, and obviously see the magician that would come to the school and tear up the newspapers and all that and put it back together. Kind of the cheesy stuff you see as a kid. Yeah.
Right.
And so then, but then 16 was when I thought about, like, I really want to take this on as a career. Even if it doesn't skyrocket or take off, I'm still gonna do it, because I always go by that saying where it's like, you put in over, what is it, like 1,000 hours, you consider a professional.
Yeah.
And so even though, I may practice or I may fabricate something or construct, like say like a trick deck or a gimmick or anything like that will help my performance, as long as I'm doing it, just in practice, it's always helping me mentally all the time. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. So all right. So, what type of shows did you do back then? It was at school or in the?
It was, well, it started out just at school. I'd go from classroom to classroom, and then all of a sudden, my dad at the time, he was kind of like kind of like my manager, and he would kind of help me out. And he's like, well, why not write a letter to all the schools in Minnesota? And so then I did,
Nice.
and I just wrote, this. I just it was kind of I just winged it. I wasn't too confident about it, and I just was like, all right, well, let's give it a try. And
Right.
sure enough, about 6, 7, 8 different schools just contacted me one by one, and I was like, this
Nice.
is awesome. But now I realize I got to drive to these places and show up and be there and be
Right.
presentable, be on time, and do all
Right.
this, and talk to not only the person that hired me, but then to the kids, to everybody, and I got a good representation,
Yeah.
and it just was a great, yeah, and it was, and I was so glad, I was so humbled that I got the experience at a young age too, and I was about 17, 18 years old,
Right.
and I thought like, once I was driving and I was actually going to these shows, I was like, wow, I can really do this. I can
Yeah.
really do this, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And so then I started thinking bigger, and I was like, okay, I'm doing some stuff for kids. Now I'm gonna go and bump it up to maybe some casinos. And so then
Okay.
around that time I was doing the kids shows, I was also watching Chris Angel, Chris Angel Mind Freak.
All
And
right.
so the whole concept that I liked about that show was the fact that he got to walk around and they made it seem like he could walk around anywhere in that casino, anywhere in the hotel, and just do whatever he wanted.
Right. Right.
He
Right.
could pick up an apple, he could do this, and so I liked that idea. And so I was like, I really want to do something like that. And so at the time, um, I had my uncle, and then I had a couple other people that I had wrote, and they were working for the tribe at the time. And then
Okay.
out of nowhere, I got just a couple little contracts for perform at Northern Lights Casino in Walker. And so
Nice.
that was around when that was around when I was like 17, 18 years old. And then from there on and so forth, from about 2007 all the way to 2015, just kept being a regular there. It
Nice.
was nice, and every time an event would pop up or a show would pop up, they say, hey, come check it out, come on down, and that was a really humbling experience, too, um, it was just so crazy, like how it just happened in different steps. First it was for kids in the school, and then it
Mhm.
was a casino, and then once I got that experience at the casino, then I started branching out to other casinos and just writing, just writing different, places and different,
Yeah.
venues, and just trying it out,
Yeah.
and yeah, but it's just always evolving. It's always evolving
Nice.
constantly.
Nice. 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 Nice.
Yeah,
That's good to see that
yeah,
you got the
yeah,
hustle mentality and you're getting yourself out there. We got to get you on one of them Tonight shows or something like that.
yeah. I know, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
And that was the other thing. That was the other thing I realized too, is during the quarantine and during COVID, it gave me a lot of it gave me actually, the greatest opportunity to just build constantly, and I have enough material now where I would love to do, like an exclusive, like small series or even like a special or something.
Oh, nice.
And
Yes.
it's yeah, and so and so that's what I was worried about the COVID. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to change my profession or do this, and I was like, no, I don't have to do that. I can just rebuild
No.
and just
Yep.
do something entirely different that the world just isn't gonna be ready for.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
picture that I had put up that I was promoting tonight's show on, I saw you had a
Yes.
Detroit sweater on. Where you get that Detroit sweater from?
That was actually, it was just a little thing I picked up. I think it was at like Mall of America, and then
Okay.
that little photo shoot was it was actually, they were just doing, I had a friend that lives in Minneapolis and St. Paul,
Okay.
she'll probably see this. Her name is Chris Sorensen, but she is actually was a part of it's a digital media, kind of a company, but it's based for, it's like helps Native kids express themselves
Oh, nice. Okay. Uh-oh.
through,
Hold on. I'm losing you. Hold on. You froze up.
uh,
Hold on. I ain't got you back yet. Oh no.
video photography and stuff like that. She was
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Jordan. You guys are having some technical difficulties here. I've lost Jordan.
Okay. Are we back?
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so like I was saying, just continuing. I was up in Red Lake, and then yeah, I just seen her, and it was at a free, just take one, you can move on, something like that before. I never seen the setup before, and so then I just stood in front of it, and then just had to take a few shots, and then saw it as just a small opportunity just to take them as promotional pictures,
Oh
and so I
yeah.
just took them and started added some black and white here and there, put some here, just different places. So even made a flyer too, and so
Yeah.
it was a good little small opportunity, I took advantage of. So
Yeah, you have to, you have to. Well,
yeah.
the reason why I brought that up about the sweater, I'm from Michigan.
Oh really?
No. Let me say that over. I'm
Okay.
from Pine Ridge Reservation. I'm from South Dakota,
Yeah.
but I
Oh
live
really?
in Detroit.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Kyle was my
Yeah.
nephew. That his dad is my brother. So,
Oh
uh,
nice.
yeah, yeah. So no, I know I lived there for like about a year there in Pine Ridge. I worked there for the child education program there, and yeah. So no, so when I saw your Detroit shirt, I was like, I sure. What do you know about Detroit? So I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing. Oh. Oh yeah. I'll say the only fun fact I know about Detroit, and that was the
Uh,
only reason why I always wore the sweater when I performed, is one of my favorite music artists is from there. His name, I don't know if you ever heard of him. His name is Jay Dilla. He's a producer.
yes, yes. Awesome producer, awesome
Yes.
actor.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, J. Dilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Man, that's just like
Yep.
too cool for you to say that name. I don't run to too many people that know about Jay Dilla in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope,
Oh
dog.
yeah.
You get a
Yep.
thumbs up from
Yep.
me for that. Yeah,
Thank you.
'cause that's true hip hop right there, man.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Um, what are your future goals being a magician?
Future goals. That's actually the greatest question that somebody's ever asked me in like a long time.
Mhm.
Um, Currently, right now, I have a lot of ideas that shifted from, ooh, I want to be a magician. I want to have my own show. I want to do this and
Mhm.
have a crew. But now it's shifted from, I not only want to be a magician, but I also want to do more in the lines of like how would you say, like kind of like performance art, but then blending it with digital art at the same time.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I can see
so
that.
there's a lot of stuff I've been working with recently. I'm gonna try and do some stuff with like live screen projections, like art projections and stuff like that, and do
Nice.
like
Okay.
small exhibits. And
Yeah.
the idea is to do it in natural settings, like a woods or by a lake, or even by like some weird little canyon, and just have them all set up with different blocks, and then
Nice.
just have it have like a modern kind of a minimal touch, and I don't want to be too out there about it. It'll just be kind of like an exclusive fun thing that was presented by me,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But that would make you
Yeah,
stand out anyway. Whatever you
yeah,
offer in that aspect would definitely make
yeah,
you stand out from any magician at this point in time. We're so used
yeah.
to come with the hat and the rabbit and the this, that, and the other. Whatever you offer at this point is just gonna be awesome and new. So yes,
Yeah,
do that. Do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Definitely.
definitely,
Yep.
definitely. Yeah.
I know you mentioned Chris. Are any other magicians in the past that encouraged you or inspired you to do what you do?
Oh well, that's another good one too that I can kind of share a small story about. Um, when when I when I first started in magic, it shifted. There was obviously there was Chris Angel, then there was David. It was kind of it went back and forth. There was David Blaine, Chris Angel, then I heard about
Yep.
Copperfield,
Yep.
and then I started hearing about this other magician that was over in Japan. His name was Cyril Takayama,
Ah.
and he was like another alternate universe of Chris Angel, and he just did stuff that I had no clue. Like I
Like,
know
how
they
did you
have
do that, huh?
yeah, they have technology over there that they can fit in the size of the palm of your hand, and I'm like, you guys have some crazy stuff over there. So,
Right, right.
and there was actually a time where I was looking at all the magicians that were on TV, that had the the glitz, the glamour, the image, they
Mhm.
had the brands,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I need to find who are the real people that make these the magic for them. Because
Oh,
I
okay.
asked one magician, and somebody was like, "Oh, like they have these consultants that help them make the magic and stuff." And so
Yeah.
I always wanted to do something like that, was like just create magic for TV and stuff like that. And so
Nice.
then I started asking more questions, and I started getting more in the aspect of the kind of the reality of the business and the industry and everything. And so it really
Okay.
helped me a lot, and I got to know a lot of some inside names, in a way, as you would say, and
Nice. Nice.
find out who worked for who, and who worked for what, and what movie and all that. And it was
Nice.
just really cool, and then a lot of the times I like those moments, because it was kind of like in the early 2000s when I was kind of coming up and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then I know I was just so grateful. And then there was even another time where I went to a convention. I went to a convention down in Las Vegas, and got a chance to actually meet up with a lot of these people, just up close, and they bought me
Nice. Those
dinner.
are
And
always good. Always
yeah,
good to
yeah,
go to those. Yes.
yeah. And they ended up buying me dinner, and I don't know if they remember me nowadays, because a couple of them have changed. One has a show in New York, one has a show, on TV over here. And so I'm just like, I wonder if any of them remember me from that
Oh
moment.
man, we gotta reach back out to him, man. We reach
Yeah,
back out to him, and
yeah,
maybe you could do something with him. Yes, no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not far off for that to happen, not at all.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing too, is I have so many ideas, I have so many things that are just kind of sitting at bay, and that's the thing, is just waiting for that right opportunity.
Right, right. Well,
Yeah,
definitely continue to work with ground control. I'll be out there in
definitely.
actually a couple of weeks. I definitely want to meet up with you.
Yeah,
And I definitely just stay in touch with Kyle. With the whole goal and the idea of
yeah,
ground control was definitely to work with Native Americans and their talent. So
definitely.
any type of way we can help you move forward, let us know.
Yes.
I know some people. He knows some people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Connections
yeah.
that we have. I have no problem with sharing with you guys in that
Oh yeah.
aspect, and I'm just ecstatic. The things you did was just too. They were just awesome, though. So I
Yeah.
definitely want a presentation when I come. I want to
Oh,
see it face
oh,
to face.
definitely,
Like, dude, do that one thing you
definitely,
did.
definitely. That's the tip of the iceberg. There's so
Oh,
many.
I'm sure.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
And one more question. No, I think you answered it. No, no, no. The last question is, where can your new fans find you on social media?
Currently, right
Wait, hold on, because they can't hear you.
now, let's see. The one. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. The one place that they could find me is on Instagram at Native Card Magic. It's all one word, lowercase, Native Card Magic.
Okay.
And that's currently, it's kind of under construction right now. I'm still, there's videos that are gonna be added, there's content, then there's me added, and yeah, it's just the start. I'm taking off, so everything is slowly building up right now. So
Nice, nice. Well,
yeah, yeah,
I would definitely go to Instagram right now and add you as a friend as well.
yep,
And like you said, anywhere else you have, we'll definitely promote you as much as we can here in Michigan and there in South
definitely.
Dakota as well. And I want to say thank you so much for doing this interview with me, man.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yes, yes. All right. You have a good day, man.
Yes, you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Baby, won't you set